Let me guess. You guys saw the thumbnail and you're thinking, what the heck did he do now? So I'm so super excited to show you guys. So this is basically going to be a complete guide on how to install it and wire it up and how to do everything. I mean, I just want to say massive thanks to PPSA, Performance Products South Africa, for freaking the great service. If you guys ever want any parts or anything like I've got in the boot, I'll definitely recommend them, especially if you're living in the country though. Otherwise you're gonna have some troubles. Anyway, let's quickly get to the part. I just want to let you guys know, like, check how it rained. Basically we switch around. Yeah, it rained. I'm so freaking happy. Basically now that it rained, the grass can turn green again after this horrible winter we had. But anyway, are you guys ready to see what is in the boot? Let's do this. Alright, let me quickly swap the camera around. So this over here, fellas, this is a water methanol injection system. So as you guys can see here, I've got a 1-to-1 ratio. Basically this is 50% distilled water and 50% methanol, but please do note that it's actually a ratio of 60-40. Basically when I talk about 50% ratio, they mean weight, not capacity. So water is heavier than methanol, so that's why there's 40% water and 60% methanol. Just an interesting fact about it. So what the heck is a water meth system? So I'm just going to give you a quick briefing. So a water meth system is basically like on my car. My car is an inline 4 2-liter, which means I've got 4 injectors. A water meth system is basically like a 5th injector. I'm not kidding. You basically have got like a small injector. In my case, I will give you guys the code, but I've got a 180cc basically injector, which just goes onto your boost system. So basically what it does is whatever mixture you end up throwing into your tank, if it's 100% meth or like the 50-50% ratio that I have, basically it will just spread into the boost system. When I'm talking about the boost system, I'm basically referring to not at the turbo where your turbo basically sits. It doesn't spray there already. It needs to be at least 30 centimeters away, no, not 30 centimeters away, within 30 centimeters of your throttle body. So basically I've got a place where it's as close as can be. I would have loved it to be a little bit closer, but unfortunately it was the best I could have done. I'll show you guys basically where I'm gonna put it and all that kind of things. So what it does is it actually bumps up the octane level in your fuel. So instead of going and adding ethanol to the tank, basically you got your water meth system, which will just spray the higher octane, which methanol is obviously a higher octane, so it will bump up your octane by 10 or 15 octane. So meaning that if you're running like a 95, it will basically go to 105, 110, somewhere around there. It depends of the mixture you obviously add to your fuel. And then also with the distilled water in, also the methanol as well, but the distilled water that's inside the methanol mixture also helps with cooling the charged air. So basically it's not just like an injector just spraying like a bunch of fuel. Basically it turns it like into a mist, and then obviously with some good mixture with the air coming in, it just cools down everything so much. So it actually helps you so much with your temperatures, like your boost, your intake air temperatures and all of that, especially because my car is very knock limited. So if you guys do some research about knock limited cars, basically what it means that if, let's say, you put your car on 1 bar boost and you just keep on adding timing, you'll see your torque curve keeps on going up until a certain time it will like smooth out and start dropping. Yeah, my car is knocking already as the torque is going up. So it doesn't even get to the point where it starts coming down and then making knock. So I think this is going to help out a lot. So a lot of people say whenever you do a methanol injection system like this, you should not tune your car for it, because as soon as there's a problem or the tank is empty and you put your foot down of that added timing and boost and all of that stuff, basically when your methanol injection stops spraying, your car won't know that and basically can hurt your components. So this is also in between. Software wise, this is going to be a personal preference if you want to do software for it or not. I won't say that I will just go and dump in an aggressive freaking file. What I'll do is I'll just make it like a little bit mild, so it does use a little bit of it, but if it stops injecting for whatever reason, it's foolproof. It's got like a lot of alarms telling you if it's empty or faulty or whatever. So basically whenever that is, you know you should not step on the throttle. Anyway, let's quickly get out. Let me show you guys quickly everything that I have, and we'll start of the installation. Sorry for me talking so much, I'm so darn excited. Okay, so let's quickly start with the two tanks. So I just want to quickly tell you guys two things. I am a little bit sick, so my nose is a little bit closed. I was actually not planning to do the video today, but I ended up actually just doing it. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but this is probably going to be an installation over a few days because I want to do such a good work. Alright, so the second thing is let's quickly talk about the two tanks. Why do I have two tanks? No, I'm not going to use the one to fill the other one. Basically, this whole kit I bought secondhand, so I got it for an extremely good price. One of the Audi guys in the Audi group in my country, basically he has a Benz and he only used that bottle with the full injection kit to basically cool down his C63. Weird, eh? I said in an Audi group, but he also has a C63 AMG. So basically, he also has an Audi. But anyway, he removed it from his C63 and it was just like, I just want to sell this. The new owner does not actually want it. So then, yeah. I took it, obviously, as you guys can see, it's here. I drove there like 9 o'clock at night to go ahead and buy it. So this is the tank, as you guys can see. That was the people that actually installed it for him. And this is the tank. It's a Coolboost system, water methanol injection. And if we turn it again, so this is basically where the pump was mounted. So this pump was mounted underneath here. I think this is a 10.5 liter or a 10 liter. This is a 6.5 liter. So anyway, so originally it was mounted there. The whole year at the back, that's basically the inlet to the pump, and that's the outlet going all the way to the front of the car for the injector. This was where your level sensor is, so basically as soon as the level drops to here, it will tell you the level is low, and then you still have got that little bit of play until it's really empty. Alright, so my original plan was to take this big boy over here and store it over here. So basically I completely wanted to hide this bottle away. I don't want anyone to see that I've got water methanol injection. It's basically just like an assassin at night. So this small amp over here is basically just got this harness over here and then this metal back plate over here. You can basically just unbolt it. I think there's 3 bolts and then it's just like a big open cavity over here. So I was thinking of actually putting this bottle in there. I'll quickly drop a few photos for you guys so you guys can see. When I did try to do it, it just didn't work. So I had to come up with another plan. Like I told you guys, I actually want to hide it away. So there is the new bottle that we actually bought now. So what I'm going to do is let me quickly clean up here and show you guys. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is where our spare tire is basically in our battery compartment. So what I want to do is I actually want to hide it in here. So I did look at the dimensions and I think we'll probably fit in the best here. Let me show you guys quick. Alright, so this is basically how it's going to look like. Don't worry, this whole tank will move up a little bit to the left. Basically, this pump is very heavy because this tank is empty. But I want to show you guys the bracket underneath. Alright, so let's just quickly center this out. So basically, if we look at it, I think it's going to go a little bit more left. There we go. So basically what I'm going to do is I don't want to drill any holes into the car. When I mean the car, I mean into the structure over here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it down over there, which means I am going to drill 2 little holes. But just to let you know that I can stick my finger in underneath here and basically it will fit. Like if I have to make a hole here, it's empty underneath. So let's quickly take this plate out. As you guys can see, this is basically just a plate that's welded, seems to be welded, that's basically welded onto the car structure. So underneath this whole part going over here is basically hollow. So I was thinking of actually making a few holes over here as well for the other side. But basically what is going to happen is, let me show you guys quick. If I make basically holes over here, because the gap over here is too big, as you guys can see, like that's literally like a piece like that gap underneath, and I don't want to drill in here. So basically if I make 2 holes over here, what's going to happen is the bottle is actually going to sit on those 2 screws, which means it will basically be angled, and as you're driving and it's moving around, it will start damaging the plastic. So in other words, what we're going to do is we're only going to make the 2 holes there, and then to avoid it for just making noise when you drive, I'm going to put basically double-sided tape underneath, just as like a cushion of protection. So the people did tell me having 2 bolts here will probably be more than enough. And then just obviously the double-sided tape, because it does weigh a lot, so that weight will keep it down. So anyway, so I'm happy with that. I'm just not so happy that it's so close to the darn battery, but it shouldn't cause any problems. So also reason why I like it to be here on this metal is that let's say I do mess kind of a little bit, it's not like it's gonna stain the carpet and the smell's gonna be in the car and all of that. So basically there's also a little bit of a sound sound barrier. So basically apparently the pump can be a little bit loud, so I want it to be like a silent gun, like I told you guys, a thief in the night. It just comes, sweep in, shoot some extra, a little bit of octane in, cooling, methanol injection, all of that, and the car just motors off of it. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm quickly gonna drill hole number 1, hole number 2, and then also the stupid phone, I don't know why it keeps on going dark and bright and dark and bright. So I'm gonna bolt it down, put everything in already. We're gonna put a container in. Obviously this straps is gonna hold the bottle, not to move around or anything of that sort. And then we're gonna start routing everything through the car all the way to the front. Alright, so it is basically day 2 of installation. Even though I didn't do anything yesterday. You guys can probably hear in my voice. Yesterday I just started to feel so bad, especially with it being so cold and the rain. I couldn't really gone any further. So we're gonna continue. Alright, so before we actually go and start making the holes, there's something I just want to let you guys know, that I did actually got help at PPSA. Alright, let me show you guys quick. So when it comes to the install, I'm very positive actually to be able to do it all by myself and to do everything. I'm like so excited. If you guys know me, I love to work on my car. So anyway, there was the problem that I mentioned. It is this pipe over here. So you guys are thinking, what the heck is that? Is that part of the methanol injection system? No, this is my boost pipe, but we actually use it. So let me quickly show you guys. Let's turn it around. So basically, the boost goes in there. It goes up, up, up. Yeah, you guys see those two things? And it goes up, 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 and comes out. So, alright. Basically, before I explain what these two things is, I actually had PPSA help me install it into the pipe. They told me that they can sell me, it's like a tap basically. You drill a hole and basically tap the threads, so you can actually turn those two in. So they told me that literally they can sell me the tap to do everything, but I'm basically only going to use it once. Apparently they say like you can not use it, like you won't ever use it again, and it's very expensive. They say unless you want to install WaterMeth keys, they can sell me that tap and I can just go bonkers with it. So it's like, no, I'm not planning to install water methanol keys in other people's car. So they actually opted in to actually do it for me. Like I told you guys, great service. So basically this is a vacuum nipple. This goes to like a switch that goes to the WaterMeth system. So as soon as your car reaches a certain amount of boost, basically then what will happen is your WaterMeth system will start spraying. So I put it on 0.6 because I know stock standard my car boost almost 1.2 bar if I'm not mistaken, but then as the RPMs goes up, the boost actually starts creeping down, so it's just above 0.6. So then I know I'm spraying till the last RPM. So this is the nozzle. I think it's a CB3. Let's see if we can get it focused. So apparently this CB3, come on, let me actually take it out. So this CB3 is like a 189 cc injector if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Come on, there we go. So it's like a 189. I might have it wrong. It's 189 cc injector. So basically what happens is it means that every minute it injects 189 milliliters. So it means that if I have a 6-liter tank, I think it can last me 36 minutes or something like that. I'm just gonna have to check my calculations again. But anyway, this is actually considered as a very small little injector. And then when it goes up, this is gonna be my MAP sensor, manifold absolute pressure sensor. So basically the boost will come in from underneath, it'll get the vacuum, and then once the boost is there, it'll actually start injecting, and then it will just pass the MAP sensor. So basically I don't really have any other space to place them. Also, unlike a MAP sensor where it calculates how much particles of air is traveling through it, this actually just picks up the pressure. So having the injector in front of it should not affect it at all. Instead, just basically clean it every time. Alright, so there we go. Let's quickly get this tank into the boot. I've spoken way too much now. Alright, so I have a lot of editing to do just to build this thing down to be like 11 minutes. So anyway, here we go. So what I did was, like I told you guys, I bolted it down twice. Underneath it's the double-sided tape that you guys saw. So basically I did not remove the film on top because I just wanted to be a cushion. So I went to go buy like the foamiest double-sided tape ever. Just to give you guys an idea, I'm literally, you guys can even see my arm. Literally there is absolutely no noise, so I am super happy. Like, I couldn't have done it any better in any other day. So yeah, I'm super happy with this. So basically now is to put our, what do you call it, our tank in here, and then obviously we're just gonna like strap it down. Also, yeah, just to let you guys know, like, that is basically the gap. I wish I could have showed you guys. It's gonna be, hold on, let me see if I can show you guys quick. Alright, so then also you guys might have a question. You know where I drilled these two holes? You saw I was there with a paintbrush actually painting it. Basically what I did was I was just applying some white paint to the bare metal areas. I absolutely hate bare metals. I hate it because if it's humidity or whatever, look, I live far away from the coast, so I'm fine. But if it was bare metal, whatever the case is, and actually the humidity comes here and that, it will actually start rusting from there on. So I believe to always have it closed up with some sort of paint, even though it's not maybe the real spray paint that they used, but just some paint at least. Even people say Q-Tex, ladies Q-Tex for the nails and stuff, even that works perfectly. So yeah, I'm super happy. Let's get a tank in. Okay, so the tank is in. Just to let you know, I actually swapped the metal plate at the bottom. I turned it around. Basically, if you do look here, it's going to be very difficult to see. there is a metal part where the straps actually get stuck, like gets attached to, and then there's no metal piece over here. That no metal piece is not for the pump, it's basically for the lid, because that means this whole strap is basically moved a bit to the left, so it clears the strap properly. So imagine if you turn it around, you put the actual lid over here, basically the strap will go over the lid. So I had to like remove everything and remove the plate and turn it around and retighten it, but everything is there just to show you guys. Okay, so it's not moving at all. It does have a little bit play back and forth, but I mean that is basically nothing. I still have the plate and it's not going anywhere. So I'm very happy with it. Okay, so I think the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna start off the piping. We're gonna take it all the way from the back going towards the front. So basically what I'm thinking before I actually continue, hello Juicy, hello my boy, there we go. And then also, hello my boy, and also where's Mully, hello Mumu. Our beautiful Labrador. Hello. And then this is our granny. She's, I think, 2007, which makes her, how much is that? 16, 17 years old now? Yeesh, look at that ear. Alright, let's get back to the install. So I think what I'm going to do is basically, now look at this nozzle, the direction that is pointing. So I thought about actually taking it, pointing it this way and running like a pipe straight going through there. But I think just to make it look a little bit better, I think I'm going to take the pipe, I'm going to route it up underneath. There's a lot of space here underneath. That's me just moving my hand back and forth, like a gap like that. So then we're basically going to bring it in, because right here it goes into this part of here. So then, let's actually just drop that quick. Then it will basically come out over here by my hand. We'll route it through, going all the way through that part. Let's quickly put our flashlight on. There we go. So we're gonna route it through that way. So basically if we come around, it will be coming basically through this part here, but right here underneath, it will basically come out. So I'm literally pushing my hand. My boy, what you seeing, eh? What you seeing? Are you helping me? Okay, so we're basically gonna take it through here, gonna bring it all the way there, and then gonna take it through to this side. All right, and then yeah, I'm just gonna have to move the tables and stuff. So then what we're gonna do is we're basically gonna take it down here, trim it all the way through there. So I think the best will probably be is to actually route it through the cubbyhole. So we're basically going to take the cubbyhole out. We're going to find a route going through to the to the engine bay. Alright, so I never thought I would make a mess like this. I mean, like, that whole dashboard is basically dropped to the side. We had a bolt here, we had 2 bolts underneath, and we had 3 bolts here on the top, 1, 2, and 3. So anyway, we basically got it down. We just put it down neatly on the floor. I don't want to damage it at all. Actually, not that. Here it is. 1, 2, and 3. All right, this is probably just some cushioning and all of that. So basically, I need to try to see how I'm gonna get to the firewall here at the back. I think, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to remove this. Yeah, this is gonna be a sport on its own. For whatever reason, I can't find my mic that I usually use on the phone. It's just to help with the wind and all of that stuff. As you guys can see, I'm wearing different clothes again. My beard has actually grown a bit. So anyway, it is 4 days, if not 5 days. It might be 5 days later now. So since I worked on the Audi A4, busy installing the WaterMeth kit. So I will quickly show you guys what I've done. I've been like literally busy for 2 hours already. Did not record a single thing because I've been stuck doing one thing, and that's trying to get the pipe through the firewall. So let me quickly show you guys what I've done. I actually did go and call the place that sells these kits and do the installation. PPSA, like I told you guys, freaking great service. When I called them, they told me that what you're doing now, the way you found is fine. Just make sure everything is safe and etc. and etc. So I'm super happy about it. All right, let me quickly show you guys what I've done. This is my entire freaking cabule glove box. I don't know what people call it. We call it a cabule. So maybe we put my flash. Oh, my flashlight is on. All right, so this is how it looks like. It's a freaking complete disaster down here. So my plan was basically to get the pipe through the firewall. So if you don't know what a firewall is basically this thing over here. This metal just to block off the between the engine and the inside compartment. All right, so I basically stripped all of this out. This is the air, basically the air vent where the air goes into the cars and the circulation system and blows air everywhere in the car. So basically I removed it to try to see if I can find somewhere down here any kind of like an opening to get the pipe through the firewall. So what I did found was this over here. So basically, if I move over here, I will try to see if I can get my hand in there and show you guys. But yeah, right over here, there we go, I can feel the hole. Let's see. There's my little dirty fingers. So initially my plan was to get it through there. It's just like it's there, it's perfect, you know. So my plan was to get it there, basically tuck it inside this carpet here at the back, because it's like a proper heat shield, just so it doesn't pick up unnecessary heat from the engine. So I wanted to bring it all the way underneath. Here's my boost pipe. Here's where I blocked it off. So obviously I'll put it into the boost pipe over here. But yeah, you guys can see I went with the other route because for whatever reason I can't find any hole. Initially, I thought of going down to those pipes over here. So this is basically for the aircon, the gas inlet and outlet and all that, or the water inlet or outlet, whatever the case is. So I was thinking of going through there, but the problem is that is in the middle of the car. Let me show you guys. There it is. So it's in the middle of the car, which means I have to basically route it from this side, going between everything, out there, back this way, down, coming forward, and then to the boost pipe. So that's also a lot of curves and all that kind of things. So what I did then was, and I actually called PPSA, like I told you guys, and they gave me such great support. So right over here on my car, here you guys can see the pipe. If you just follow it through here, there's a little hole over there. So it was actually blocked off by this little plug. I'll actually go and like drill a small hole in here and then I'll put it in there. This is obviously just for water protection so that water doesn't come into your car. And then also if we quickly have a look here, where is it? There it is, right in front of me. So it comes out right out of this hole over here. So basically what I did was I just took it with this pipe over here. Where's my finger? This pipe here at the back, basically I took it with, so we took it all the way up and then we brought it through here and then it came out over here. So my initial plan is to actually added with this cables going over here. So then basically taking it down and then connecting to it underneath. So basically this pipe will not be seen. I also have proper trunking for protection of heat and it's scuffing and all of that. Also what I will do is I'm going to pull it back because I want to put that plug in, but I'm going to put trunking on it in this area over here where it goes over the wheel. So this carpet will protect it. I did talk to them. They said no, it should be fine. The carpet will protect it even if it gets wet or whatever the case is, as long as your car is not scraping there or anything will cause any damage to it, it should be 100% fine. All right, so I haven't even done the wiring harness yet. Alright, so I'm not done with the fuel lines and all of those kind of things yet. I actually need something from the shop, so I need to go and get it. So I just said, okay, I can't go now. The wife has got the ST. So anyway, alright, so this is our little octopus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 legs. Let's just put them. There we go, something like that. There we go, the 8 legs. Alright, so let's quickly start from right over here. So this is basically our controller, the mind of the entire thing. So as you guys can see, this is the stage 1 kit. Right over here we've got a low level. So basically in the tank it's got a level sensor. So as soon as the methanol drops below the level sensor, it'll actually give an alarm here. It'll probably be red or whatever the case is, or green or red, I'm not sure. Anyway, and then when it's activated, that light will come on, and over there we've got a low pressure switch, which is actually pretty awesome. So while we're talking about the low pressure switch, let's actually go to the yellow line. So basically the yellow line is for your they call it SPMU, system pressure monitoring unit. So basically that will go into it. So in your line, it's in my case going all the way to the car, you'll basically put that pressure monitoring system where the pipe goes in and on the other side the pipe comes out. So basically what will happen is we'll just see the pressure going through. So once the pressure is too low, it'll actually pop up this light over here. So as I'm understanding, apparently they should not touch each other, or there's a possibility they might touch each other. Otherwise you're gonna have the alarm on the entire time. I will just confirm with them. Going to the right over here, so this is basically for our solenoid. So in this case our installation did not come with a solenoid, it came with like a one-way valve. And basically this is a one-way valve. So I just want to see, there's the arrows on it, if you guys can see right over here. So basically the flow must go this way and it will avoid the flow for coming back. So yeah, this is the one-way valve. So we did not get the kit with the solenoid. So if you're using the solenoid, you'll basically use this. Basically the solenoid and the valve, they do the same thing. The solenoid is obviously just operated with electricity and signals and all that kind of stuff. So as soon as you, for example, the control unit must not send a fuel through, it'll actually like cut it off on the solenoid. Okay, going over to this leg over here, as you guys can see, we've got 4 cables. Basically this 2 over here goes to the pump, and then these 2 is basically for your level. So that works with this one over here, low level focus. Anyway, so yeah, this is what the blue cable is for. So this goes basically to your pump and to the low level. If we go over here, I'm trying to like memorize everything, so yeah, don't hate me if I'm a little bit wrong. But anyway, so the red over here and the black, this is basically the positive 12 volt and the ground for the controller, or maybe let's say for the entire system. This orange line is basically like an ignition switch. So what you actually do is, which is pretty cool, this is where these 2 two comes in place. So we've got two of these ones over here. So basically what it is a plug that you put in by your fuse, so it replaces your fuse. That fuse you place in over here, and then it still works like normal. If anything has to happen, this fuse will pop. It can actually take two fuses. That's pretty cool. So if you have an extra fuse, you can actually just plug it in there. Let's see the other one. Oh wow, both of them has got the fuses. So anyway, so yeah, so what will happen is if everything pops like normal, this fuse will pop, like I said, like normal. So then the current won't go through to this line. So basically this line, I don't know why the previous people cut it off, but you can see there the orange is cut off, and basically here is the orange that they cut off. So I'll just obviously clean it out and make it neat and everything. So basically your fuse, you will go somewhere in your car, for example in my car right over here, because the pump is right underneath here, running it to here. Here's a bunch of fuses that I can work with and stuff. So basically what you want to do at the end of the day is, as soon as you put your ignition on, you want when your ignition is off, you don't want any power to your system. It will just drain your battery. As soon as you put your system on, you want your car on, your system will obviously turn on. Alright, so after this plug over here, we're gonna talk about this little button over here. You know, like in the movies, you get your nitrous button on the steering wheel, psst. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. I'm just joking. This is actually your prime button. So basically, they say most of the cases you only use this with your first install. So obviously, like now, let's say I throw fluids into the tank, the entire lines is empty. So basically, you're gonna keep on pressing it until you get some of the fluid in the intake. Obviously, I don't know how good this is. I'm just referring to the fact that you're gonna hold it in most probably, and you're not gonna know if it's there yet or not. So it's gonna probably flood your intake system, like your boost pipes and all of those kind of things. So just please be a little bit wary when using it. Maybe I would say even before you actually put in your final plug into your injector, like the pipe into your injector, maybe just prime until you see it comes out, and then you can put it in. That's maybe something I'm thinking of, just to make it a little bit easier. Alright, so going next to that, this is for our boost control switch. So this is something I mentioned to you guys earlier. So this basically, what happens is it goes into your boost system. That's why we've got the one nipple. So basically you'll have a pipe going from the pipe into this plug over here. So what it does is basically, as your car is building up boost, it will send the pressure through this little hole, kind of shocking. So it's got this little filter over here. So this filter is obviously just making sure that the air that actually goes to the solenoid over here just remains clean. The pressure, you don't want any oil particles or whatever going in there. So it's kind of cool that it's like a clear coat, so you can actually see if it gets dirty or not. So basically, yeah, the pressure is going to go in here, the air pressure, and then inside here is like a small switch, and this over here, the screw over here, is basically where we adjusted it to obviously how much boost we wanted. So this car on 7,000 RPMs makes 0.65 bar of boost, which is very, very low. So that's manifold absolute pressure. I'm not gonna go into that. So it makes 0.6 bar boost on 7,000 RPMs. So this thing is set up to 0.6. So you guys can see I'm very close to the limit, but I am planning to do stage 1. So obviously that 0.65 will maybe go to 0.75, 0.8. It depends all from the tuner or what we are gonna do. So anyway, so basically, yeah, so then these purple cable and the black cable basically just goes up here. If you guys do actually have a look, let's see if it will focus. So there we got a on and a NC, ON and a NC. So let's actually turn it around. Let's see, there we go. So there we guys can see we've got an NC on the top, the NO. So the NO stands for normally open, and the NC stands for normally closed. And then right over here, this is our, I can't even see, let me see, it's our COM, is that a T? I can't see probably. Anyway, I'm trying to like, yeah, so I can actually see this little cover here is broken. Okay, anyway, so basically the purple cable and the black cable will come over here. So they say it can work either way, but I'll just make sure on the diagram. But yeah, so basically that is it. So also I just want to let you guys know that Why is it not focusing? That this part, you don't actually want it in the engine bay. They say this part can just get very dirty and all of those kind of things. So usually they're trying to put it into the dashboard. So I was trying to see what I can do with it to obviously just make sure we get the best place for it as possible. Okay, there we go. Let's quickly start with the installation. Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to look inside. Oh my gosh, this absolutely breaks my heart. So, look at all of this mess over here. So I basically clipped out this entire steering area, basically to get out this little part over here. So basically what I want to do is I want to take this controller. Yeah, so basically all these cleaning racks is I'm just putting it on the edges, so wherever these cover stands on, it basically stands on the cloth just to protect all the panels. So basically I want to put this controller, the stage 1 controller, I want to put into my ashtray because I don't smoke. So basically when you're gonna open it, it's gonna stay open like this. The controller will go down, will go in from here. It will be in this area. So basically what I did was, let me show you guys quick. As you guys can see, I kind of like cut it off. You guys also saw the clip maybe. I took my soldering, what do you call it? Yeah, my solder, and then I just kind of like heated it up. So I was just trying to see if I can cut it a bit cleaner, just to make it look a little bit better. So anyway, so now you guys are thinking, oh damn, you just broke this thing, it's not functional anymore. Let me show you guys quickly. So basically this is the part that actually goes in here. So I just want to show you, look at it. It still clips. It still clips. So it still works. The only thing is that this part that I cut off over here, soldered off basically, was just like a small metal spring. So basically whenever you push this button out of the way, it used to like pop up, but now the only difference is when you press it, you're just gonna have to put your hand in and lift it up by yourself. But initially the clip still actually holds it in place, so meaning that the day whenever I decide to take the stage 1 controller out, basically this is just gonna look exactly the same. So we'll make that our nitrous button. And that's a good thing, is because basically I'm not gonna use this cover, so I can just like press it and I will hide my controller. No one will notice I have got the stage 1 methanol system in, because I'm like literally hiding everything. So only when you pull it back, that's basically when you'll get the only glimpse. You see, oh wow, this guy actually has a stage 1 methanol injection system in it. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys quickly how I did this. So this is basically gonna be another tutorial in a tutorial. I'm just gonna be very quick because not a lot of people have these kind of cars, but maybe you've got a similar car, the VWs or whatsoever. So I think most of them probably work the same. So initially what I did was I started the car up, I put the gear lever in neutral. So now it's not neutral, it's in between. It's basically because this whole panel is slided back. Just take my word for it, I placed it in neutral because originally it's moved forward, so it's like kind of restricting you to pull this panel backwards. So basically I put it in neutral, and what you do is this artificial leather over here, basically just gonna hold it and yank it up, so this whole thing basically clips out super easy. So you're just gonna yank it up, and then once it's out of the way like it is, basically gonna put your hand in underneath, yank up on this big panel over here. So I yanked it up on the what do you call it, the bottom side, the left side, and then the right side. Just a heads up that this part over here is actually loose, so just be very careful. And then what I kind of did was I just kind of like slide it backwards, but also before you want to slide it, you'll see it's actually going to struggle a lot. So what I did was our climate control panel, the one that's here at the bottom, basically literally there's no bolts, absolutely no bolts. You just kind of like from the bottom, you kind of like lift it up and you'll feel it clip out, and then basically I just took the what do you call it, the 2 plugs out, so that I can just take it out of the way so I don't damage that. And then basically this whole plastic will just slide backwards. Now this part that I'm busy working with now, basically it also just slides in there. I would say the best advice is to actually just follow the cable, and then you just pull out this plug. Obviously I try to see while it was down there if I can remove it over here, but yeah, that's like a weird contraption. So anyway, basically this will still be remained on the inside. So as you guys can see right over here, let's see, right over there, And right over there, there's two 8mm bolts. You're basically just going to loosen it up, and then this whole thing will just come out. So I'm going to quickly reverse everything. I'm going to place everything back in. But before I actually do that, what I've got to do is my stage 1 controller is like a complete mess here. Like, here's the cables. It's crazy, it's bonkers here. So anyway, I even got the dash out. So yeah, basically now what I've got to do is I've got to get my controller. I got to get it inside this panel over here, which should be fine. I must try to like route it through, and there's probably going to be a few cables I need to extend, but we will see how things goes. Anyway, let me get started. Okay, so let me give you guys a small quick update. So there it is. I love it. I love it that I just press it and it closes automatically. That is so freaking cool. Alright, so this is where I'm currently at now with the cable system. So right over here is the relay. So basically everything goes to the relay, and from the relay it goes through to the controller over there. Also a pretty good nice thing I never showed you guys, that this is the power cable, the red cable. It's got literally a fuse in it as well, so that it goes to the battery. Only problem is, this is how long the cables is. Yeah, my battery is all the way into the boot, so yeah, that's gonna be a nice mission on its own. So for the ignition cable, I'm probably gonna have to extend all three of them, but basically I might want to see if I can get the ignition cable to come here. I just gotta check what these fuses are. Instead of the ones in the boot, oopsie, I can use these ones over here. I just need to see if the clap will actually close with that fuse over there, but I think it should though. And then yeah, for the ground, I actually saw this over here, so it looks like there's already two things grounded to it. Because the color is brown, I'm not sure. I'll just have a look. Obviously this has to be cleared. I can see this cap over here was sprayed white, or initially sprayed white, so it obviously should not touch paint, it should touch bare metal. So but if it works, I'm just gonna put it right over there. So also I've got this cable over here that goes to the fuel level, fuel pump, basically. So these cables has to go together. This one is for the boost switch. They actually have to go together, so these ones I'll have to roll up nicely, maybe put them in some trunking or something of the sort. I'll see what I'm gonna do. Otherwise I'm just gonna get this material and just basically roll it with the material. So next to that, we have got all of these things. We've got the yellow and black, the red and white with the black. We've got that, and then obviously we've got our nitrous bottle. Psst. So basically these things, what I'm thinking of doing is actually putting them together in a bag, and then, because you see this switch over here, this is a problem. This is a relay. Initially I wanted to tuck it in underneath here, but it's actually like flat, so there's no way to store it without this panel just standing out. So if I want to like put it into the cabule or something like up here, it's going to be visible. I don't want it to be visible. So what I was thinking is, because this one can actually just slide all the way till underneath the seat, so with the cables and the prime button I can put everything into like a nice material bag, cable tie to something underneath. So let's say in the future, if I want to get that system pressure monitoring unit, I can literally just take it out underneath the seat, get the cables, wiring it to it. Or I can get the solenoid, the electrical solenoid, I can take it to the solenoid and place it in there. So that gives me a lot of better possibilities for just keeping it underneath the chair, instead of like tucking it away somewhere and you've got to remove every freaking thing again to get to it. So I'm just trying to think for the future as well. And I mean, like, you will not see it unless like down here, if you do look down there, you might see it, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. So anyway, let's get going. So what I ended up deciding to do was, I think I'm going to use this trunking. So this trunking actually comes off the pipe that I'm not going to use, because this pipe is a new pipe, so I still had the trunking from the old pipe. And then I still, where is it? There it is. Still have the entire 3-meter roll of piping over there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shove all the cables into this trunking, and then obviously route it around. When I get here, I'll split the cables up like I need to. But yeah, as you guys can see, yeah, we're running out of cable, so I don't want to put it in there because I have to extend it. So basically I have to go to the shops, and what I really want to do is I want to get the same color. It doesn't have to be obviously the same color, but orange has to be orange, red has to be red. If I do need to get black, black will be black, and so forth. So I just want to make sure that the colors is correctly. I just want to try to do the best job I can do possible. Then obviously I'll extend it and keep on routing it in. So I think what I'm going to do now is, because I can't drive the car, the boost pipe is out. So I think what I'm going to do is, if I can just get the boost pipe back in, then it will be much better. So basically we have got this pipe I still need to install. So what I want to do is I want to put some trunking into it, and then also I'll just quickly put it there. So also when I put the trunking in it, there's actually a valve. Let me get it quick. And here it is. So I talked to you guys earlier about this valve. Yeah, sorry about just the dust building up there. We'll keep the camera away. So this valve, it needs to come into the line, so basically 30 centimeters before the injector. So what I'm thinking is, if we do take it up here, I think of just placing it here somewhere, because I know the pipe for the window washer basically runs up here. I'll probably cable tie it to it, and then yeah, we'll run the rest of the part all the way down to the boost pipe that will be down there, which is also has the injector on it. So yeah, basically I have to place it most probably right over there. So yeah, just a quick hint: whenever you do actually cut this pipe to your specifications, basically what you want to do is you want to take a Stanley blade and you want to cut it, but you just want to cut it like very slowly. You don't just want to crunch it, because once you crunch it, it actually like forms like cracks, and it can actually leak there over time. And if you bend it, like if I have to bend it now, it will cause like a knack. I don't know what you actually call it. We just call it a knack. And then basically, yeah, it will be a very weak spot, and it will forever want to like bend there. And yeah, so it will actually restrict your fuel from flowing properly. So anyway, let me quickly cut this. Alright, there we go. So it is in properly. I did kind of like yank it to see if it will come out. It wouldn't. So now, oh no, I forgot to put the trunking over here. I wanted to put trunking over there. I mean, I can still cut it off and do it. It's not a big biggie. And then yeah, I've got to basically take this pipe all the way to the front. Alright, so a little update. I'm gonna be basically taking the boost pressure pipe, which is the one without the valve. See, maybe I can get my hand there. This one over here on the left hand side. This is gonna be for my boost switch, and this is obviously gonna take the methanol. So I got trunking for both of them. Don't worry, I'll just push this one back. So basically, we cable tie them together just to make it so much easier. So basically, we're gonna take it up here in the arch, like you guys probably already know, up here in the arch, going over here, down, well, basically here's the cloth that blocks the pipe, basically just down here underneath into the pipe. So I've got some extra piping here. Oh, where is that one going? So I've got way too much piping here, but I'll cut it off as we need to, just to make sure. Obviously we'll rather have too much than too little. Oh my gosh, guys, it looks freaking amazing. So here is my boost pipe going down. Basically, there you guys can see is the little injector. Over there is the nozzle. So also this is where my map sensor goes. So yeah, it looks freaking amazing. Let me quickly go underneath the car. So hopefully you guys will be able to see properly. So as you can see, the bottom one, this one over here,
This is my vacuum one, and this is my injector one. Like, I'm not too happy with this angle that is turning over here, but I mean, it's fine at the end of the day, and this one goes straight in. It was a little bit difficult to put it in. I mean, the space is so little. I'm so upset I couldn't get better footage for you guys, but I did actually try my best. Only thing I still have to do is just tighten this this boost pipe over here, but basically it is done, so we can kind of start the car up again. I mean, it's not done. I mean, the part for the pipes and the switch and that is done. We still got to do most of the wiring.
It is 7 o'clock in the morning, the wind is blowing. Just keep your eye on that trailer, you see that whole thing like lifting up. So anyway, today is the last day we have to install this WaterMeth kit. And let me just tell you guys quickly, I'm actually already running a little bit late. I've actually got a few plans for today. I've got to get to this job real quick. But anyway, video comes first. So over the few days I've been busy with the car, basically the cabling is taking freaking forever because myself, I need to put all the cables in trunking, make it look good and all of that, and it's just taking forever. Literally, in the kit, you get everything you need. So basically, you get 3 meters of trunking. That is basically for your, what do you call it? The fuel line that goes into the engine bay. So basically, it's just to help with the heat. And then the other trunking is for the vacuum, obviously going into the engine bay, just for the heat, like some protection. I freaking, what do you call it, trunk the whole freaking kit. I went to go ahead and buy like another 10 meters. I've got trunking from the front to the back. I'm just like, I want a neat job. I don't just want 100 cables running past the side of the car and into the boot, and it's just going to be so difficult. So I literally put everything in trunking. So the system as is, I can already put a car on and the system comes on. It's so freaking cool. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys quickly what I've done. Basically, in the previous part where I was talking, I told you guys everything that I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys quickly what I've done. And then I'm not done yet. I still have to take the heat gun, what do you call it, heat up the shrinking cable shrinkers. Like basically it just shrinks and holds the joints together properly and all of that kind of stuff. And then I have to throw in fluid, the WaterMeth 50 1 out of 1 mix, which is a 60-40 mix. I have to throw it in, prime the system, see if it's working, all of that. So we're nearing the end, but I have to start now and basically get going because otherwise I'm not gonna get finished today. Anyway, let's get started. Everything is an absolute mess. Alright, but this is where we came. So basically, right over here, there's this black pipe going up. That pipe basically goes back to right over there. That's where the boost switch is. So initially I wanted to like stick out over here or through this gap. There's just not enough space because I wanted to be able to get to it quickly and make some adjustments if I needed to. But yeah, initially as soon as I try to like bring it in here, because of the flex of the pipe and that, it's actually gonna have like a clunk so on the rubber piece that joins the two together. So I was just like, no, I can't have like a clink in the system. So I actually just worried about getting it straight, because after I thought it's gonna be awesome here, and which it would have been, but it's gonna have that clunk, and I just don't have anything at this moment to just avoid that clunk. So regardless of that, basically what we did was the whole system is here underneath, and basically this is my prime that I still left out, so my nitrous button. So anyway, the whole system and everything is in this little bag over here, which I want to get a new bag to replace this bag in good time, but for now it's just to get everything working. As you guys can see, we've got 2 trunking running down here. Basically it comes down underneath. Yeah, look at how dirty it is. Coming down underneath the chair, going into the panels over here going all the way to the back, but we're going to talk about that now. So basically the cables running, the cables, okay, so you guys can see there's a purple cable over here. I think you can even see, here's the trunking right over here, so I can actually cut it a little bit shorter. Basically I just wanted to make sure it's long enough. So anyway, in this trunking that basically runs all the way underneath, coming down, I think you can even see it hanging here still got a like cable tie, still have the finishing touches to do. So anyway, there's my ground cable. It goes into another ground that's over here, and then this is for my boost, what do you call it, for my boost switch that is sitting back there. And then yeah, so basically then we have a pipe here, and this one goes to the boost switch. Alright, so then we have this pipe which basically also goes through that little rubber over there, which I still need to fix. I've got both the cables going through there, both of these what do you call it, oh my god, this vacuum line and this meth line, both of them goes through it to the engine bay, to the boost pipe. Alright, so then let's quickly talk about these two trunkings. So the one trunking has got the power in it and the ignition switch. The other one has got four wires in. Now the wires were just too much to put everything into one trunking, sadly. But anyway, so the other trunking is basically the 4 wires for the pump, which is positive, negative to give power to the pump, and then also for the level switch. Alright, so basically they just go here, run all the way through. So then they come through underneath here, they go in here. So basically when they come up here, there they are, both of them over there. So then let's quickly go over here. Alright, let's just put this down. Alright, so then here's the 2 cables coming here through to the back. But I think there's oh yeah, and then that's obviously the 3rd one. So here you guys can see, I'm so sad, but I had to join them. It was just too short for this cable. It basically had to, let me just quickly move this. It had to join into this plug, so as you guys can see I did trunking till here. So initially this cable that was coming all the way from the front, it basically just got to like here, just like kind of sticking a little bit out. It had to go that whole way, so I was like, alright, let me make the cable with some extra kind of cable to it, and I'll join it over here. So it's not like a joint over here, but a joint hidden away. And then also I could have like basically tucked it in nice behind the amp as well. Alright, so then I had to kind of like make this plug over here. Basically just had the clips. I wanted to get a video of it, but when I was done I was like, oh damn, I never made a video. So yeah, it just basically you put the wires into those clips and then you just push it in. Actually so satisfying. So yeah, then here's my positive. So my initial plan is to actually take these 3 cables. So it's this cable with the trunking to the pump, and this cable running down here. I want to see if I can maybe get all 3 of them together and then route it nicely all along the way till I have to like basically trunk it to the pump here at the back. And then the red cable, I want to take it properly with it all the way till here. And basically, let me show you guys quick. What I did was I got one of those fork, what do you call it, those fork clips, lugs or whatever you call it, just basically sticked it underneath this one, and then I tightened it. So that is our ground. And then for our ignition wire, so basically when the positive came out here, there's another trunking. Oh my gosh, the wind is absolutely bad. So then the cable is running here, going underneath. Let me quickly see if I can show you guys. Oh my word, it's bad. So right over here is my ignition wire, which is orange, but I couldn't get an orange cable, so I went with the green and yellow cable. At least it's a different kind of color, so not like the red and black. So I know this is my ignition cable. Then it goes into, basically I still have to heat, they call it heat gun this, to make sure that this coupling is fine. Well, this obviously for the shrinking. So then it goes down there into a fuse. Let me quickly pull this out. Alright, so in this fuse, so basically what I did was, this 15 fuse was over there already in slot number 4. So basically I removed it, I placed it in here, and then I've got a 20 fuse basically going from here through my ignition cable. So then basically just go take the entire setup, just press it in there, and perfect it. So let me show you guys quickly. Obviously the tank is empty. Alright, let's quickly get into the car. Oh yeah, by the way, I found some change. I'm a rich man. Alright, so let's quickly turn on the ignition. Alright, and as you guys can see, we have a low level. So I think the activated, that is going to come on once you basically drive and it starts spraying the methanol. And the low pressure, I don't think, because we don't have the solenoid or the system pressure monitoring unit, I don't think that one is going to work as yet, but we'll definitely get to that in the future. But at least it's working. As you guys can see, there's power. So once we throw in and we go take the car for a drive, I want to see this activated come on. So absolutely love it. So if I sit like this, initially when I look down, I can't see crap, but as soon as the knob is actually all the way back, you can see it clearly, clear as daylight. So we'll have a proper look a little bit later. Or you know what, let's just do it now. Let's quickly start it up. So I'm going to put it in sports, and you can see it clearly out of the way. Drive, neutral, reverse. I mean, like, this is my point of view. I can see it just clearly. Okay, and we are basically done. So everything is back in. I just want to show you guys quickly that, yeah, where is it? Let's see. All right, here's the plug. Let's actually put on the flashlight. There's the plug for the map sensor. I mean, you guys can't even see that there's any, I mean, the pipes is down there, like here they go. So basically they go down here, come up, but I mean, like, if anyone just stands here, I mean, they'll be like, the car looks stock standard, but not knowing the pipes is actually running through there. All right, so we can go ahead and close this. Let me quickly show you guys. We also put back all the panels. So basically, there we go. Cleaned up a little bit. So yeah, this is my nitros button, like I told you guys. So we'll actually prime the car now. So afterwards, I'll actually tuck it away. Okay, so that's how it looks like over there. So basically over here, everything looks good. And then for the boot, so yeah, now I'm gonna start filling it up. But I actually want you guys to listen to the, what do you call it? Listen to the pump before I actually throw it in. So if we open it up over here, so yeah, removed everything, and voila. So yeah, don't worry about these cables. So yeah, we'll sort it out. Oh yeah, before I forget, I still need to put that in. Oops. So that would have been a bummer. Just imagine freaking everything spraying out there. So anyway, okay, so yeah, that is done. Let me just show you guys quickly. There it is. So unfortunately, this plastic, I just placed it there. I could not put this plastic over, but look at that trunking. It's like perfect. Like my measurements, I literally measured like 10 times. So anyway, that is in over here. So this is something I still need to fix. So this trunking is not big enough to get all of this in. So basically what I've done is right over here, sorry, this table is a mess. Everything is just a mess here. So I basically got my exam pad and I wrote down 4 things I still want to do. So as a left hand side, pocket in boot, fix trunking. So that's basically what I just showed you guys. I just called it a pocket. And then #2 fix wires exposed in boot. So that is literally the wires that is not exposed. Exposed is just let me just show you. I just want you guys to have a proper understanding. Is these wires, I don't want them like this. The wires, not the copper, just the wires is exposed. I don't want that. And then 3 is place rest of the dash panels in underneath the glove compartment. What did I see? Compartment. So it's basically just underneath. And the last one still have 1 screw for dash. So somewhere in here, there it is. I came across that I did not put in a screw, and I think I know where it is. It's a one going in like that. Regardless, we don't need that one now, so it's a good thing to have like an exam pad like this. So basically we can keep track of everything that still needs to be done, because like I told you guys, I'm running out of time, but it's 100% functional with even being dirty. All right, let's quickly get into the car. I want you guys to hear the pump. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the camera like this and look at the middle one that says activated. Oh, you guys can't actually see it. I think it's because the flashlight is on. Let's quickly switch it off. Can you guys hear it as well? So yeah, I can hear like it has like a deep roar, like a roar. I can't mimic it. What a fail, but I absolutely love it. So the pump is working, everything is working. Like I just told you guys, this what is it called, low pressure won't work because I don't have the system pressure monitoring unit. I've said it 100 times, but the pump works, the low level works, so everything should be fine for now. Alright, so let me quickly go put in that last pipe, and then we're gonna throw in some fluids. We're gonna start the car actually while it's idling. We're gonna prime it until we can actually see our revs pick up a little bit. As our revs picks up, we know obviously it's spraying into the system. We'll just quickly look for leaks and all of that. If there's no leaks, we know we're good to go. Where did it fall? Oh, there it is. Alright, so the car is off of the ramp. Sorry, my eyes is just so sensitive to sunlight. I don't know why. But anyway, so the car is off the ramps. We got the methanol in. I don't see any visible leaks at all. I don't see any leaks here at the back. I don't see any leaks in the front. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go for a drive around. We're gonna see when the activation button kicks in, if it kicks in automatically or not, which I believe it does. We're also gonna data log it to see if we can find out what the difference is like with the ignition retardation, all of that. I think I'm first gonna have to drive the car a little bit, get the methanol through the system. I did prime it quite a lot. I did never see the RPMs actually go up. One of the reasons might be is basically because the nozzles that I've installed, a little injector, is basically more than 30 centimeters. It's about 30 centimeters away from the actual valves. It might be a little bit more. Oh, there goes a bag. Gotta go get it now. So anyway, it might be a little bit more. So at the end of the day, most of the methanol will actually vaporize out. That's what I've been told. Maybe you'll have slight little bit of methanol actually going through to increase the octane a little bit. But initially, with the water inside, the distilled water and all of that in the mixture, it will basically help to cool down the charged air. So we'll see if probably our intake air temps will not drop. We'll see if it drops as soon as it sprays or whatever the case is. But yeah, let's quickly go for a drive around, and then I'm gonna give you guys some feedback and tell you if I feel anything different or whatsoever. Alright, so basically I'm just cruising. I've not seen the light come on, but as soon as there it came on. So as soon as basically the boost kicks in and it's starting to ramp up in boost, then it seems like it's actually taking place, where it's actually injecting. I'll actually show you guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm quickly gonna have a data log. I'm not expecting too much though, actually. I just hope that, obviously I've got the normal tuning. I just wanna see the ignition retardation. I wanna see if it actually improves. So yeah, well, let's actually just go straight for it. There's nothing much more to say. Third gear. Let's start the log. All right, foot to the floor. Kicked in. As like the boost starts to ramp up, I am back home. I quickly went through the logs, and let me tell you, I am happy. So I did some quick calculations. We got about 10 newton meters of torque and about 20 horsepower, which is equivalent to, I think, 14 kilowatt, 13 point something, 14 kilowatts, which is honestly not bad. I'm honestly through the roof. I mean, I didn't do any tuning. It's still the stock tuning that's on. Well, the tuning that basically before I did the methanol in it. So yeah, which is basically stock. And literally just because of the ignition retardation I was having, it gave me such a big bump on the horsepower. So you guys are probably thinking, why so much horsepower and a little bit amount of torque? So basically with the torque, I never have ignition retardation around as soon as the turbo kicks in, because as soon as the turbo kicks in, that's that torque feeling, that pushback feeling, that is literally your torque going up. So I never have knock there. I mostly have knock towards the higher RPM. So the higher the RPM goes, the more knock I'm experiencing. So basically, yeah, now that the ramp is just probably a little bit better with the injection, and then also because there's less knock, you can even see my spark table, how nicely it's trying to start curving itself. Yeah, you can basically just feel that power just keep on pushing through, so it doesn't just keep on pulling power out. So anyway, yeah, I'm super happy with how this went. Like, I'm through the roof. So I'm still gonna trial and error it. There's definitely a difference. As soon as I climbed into it, and like with my first wide open throttle, I literally felt the difference straight away. I looked at the pump in a boot now. I looked in the front. There is absolutely no leaks. So I'm through the roof. One thing I do think, I might have actually adjusted the switch a little bit too low. It's boosting, it's coming on at 0.6. Not that it, like when I cruise around, it doesn't come on at all. Like, it's 100% fine. The only time I'm actually like realizing that, as soon as let's say you want to accelerate a little bit quick away from the robot, yeah, as soon as like whenever your car wants to like kind of gear back or feels like it's about to gear back, in such a case, the light will actually comes on and it starts spraying. But initially, at the end of the day, it will be a little bit, whoa, the wind. Initially, it will actually like drink more juice from the car, but it will also help with reliability. But yeah, also one thing before I forget, I did notice the short-term fuel trims is kind of like wonky, which means it is actually spraying in. Usually it's just like a small curved line, but now I can see actually it's going straight, jump, like it's actually trying to like put fuel in and pull back and all those kind of things. But anyway, I'm gonna drop this video right over here. It was super long. I'm exhausted. This was one hell of a mission. To think I only got like 20 horsepower out of freaking doing all of that work. I'm still grateful. I'm not gonna say I'm not grateful, honestly. And then if you want to tune your car, you can push your car a bit further, and in such a way you can actually obviously get more out of your system. Also, the nozzle I have in, the people actually told me it's a very small nozzle. I think I did mention it throughout the beginning stages of this video, where they told me it's very small. They honestly recommend me to upgrade. I was like, I'll upgrade in the future. I'm just gonna come like get through it with what I have, and then I'll obviously upgrade from there on. I can even go to like a stage 2 controller and. So anyway, I'm gonna drop this video right over here. Get yourself a meth kit. It's honestly worth it. Where I'm standing here, I'm already saying it's worth it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. In the future, I will be doing a few modifications to it. I've already purchased a few things, but I'm not gonna mention it now. I'll keep you guys up to date with that, and then yeah, and then also in the future, I'll also give you guys feedback to say to you how good it was, if it is getting like better or whatever the case is. So, and all the problems I'm experiencing or the non-problems I'm experiencing or whatever the case is. I'm talking too much. Oh, and this camera is heavy. It's very heavy. I'll see all of you legends in my next video, but for now, peace out.